Hello all, welcome back to our channel. I hope you are all doing good. So we are creating AWS series for the cloud computing learners, and we have already created a couple of videos to explain about some of the concepts in AWS. And in case if you have not watched, please go ahead and watch those videos. And today we are going to discuss about AWS global infrastructure, and also we have created some of the videos with respect to in different streams in our channel. In case if you want to watch also, you can go ahead and watch. And today agenda is that so we are going to discuss and understand about what is global AWS global infrastructure. I under these topics we are going to discuss about three major concepts. One is for AWS regions and AWS availability zones and AWS edge locations. So we will discuss each and every point, and also we will get into this AWS management console. So what are the things available in the management console, and we can see practically and is how where those uh, concept or where those features available and how it is works and where we need to select all those things. We will go through one by one. So I'll get into this AWS management console. Let me log into AWS management console. Okay, so right now I am in my AWS management console. So I hope I have already clarified, maybe I have explained this all the features and with respect to how to access this management console, what are the services and how are we going to navigate. So what are the each field used for. So in case if you are not aware, maybe you are new to this, maybe you can go ahead and watch those previous videos and come back to these videos to understand more about that. Yeah. So now let's uh, discuss about AWS global infrastructure. Okay, so first thing is that we are going to discuss about AWS region, followed by AWS availability zones, and followed by edge locations. So uh, see, these are the basic or maybe for the fundamental concept we need to understand before going for the advanced concept. See, in case if somebody or if anybody or the persons who knows already, if you want to, if you want to listen, maybe you can go ahead and listen that. And if you want to understand more about that, you can go ahead and see or maybe study for the official documentation, which have more information about that. So just to anyhow, we will go through that each and every concept to understand more about before going for any kind of project based or maybe on a advanced concept in cloud computing. Okay, so now AWS region. Okay, so infrastructure. So please, we need to understand about the infrastructure, right? So in case in an organization or in an industry, in a real time, right? Oh, if you want to build or if you want to deploy an applications, right? So what we will do, we will get the requirement from the business and we will build an applications. Once application gets built, so what we will do normally, we will take those applications and deploy into that respective infrastructure in order to use that application for the users or the end user or clients, right? So that is how basically the understanding will be there. So generally I can explain more about, okay, so how this project structure will looks like, how we will be getting into the projects and what are the phases will be available. Then how this development, application development is happening in an industry or in an organization. We will do one by one, no worries. We can discuss all those points, each and every points in a detailed way. So we will do that one by one in future. So right now, please understand about these concepts. Then we will in the next video we will go for one by one to understand more about that. So in a nutshell, okay, so we will get the requirement from business and we will build an applications. We will take those application and has to be deployed into some of the infrastructure, which maybe it may be from our own data center or it may be from the services or maybe center which you procured or maybe services which procured from cloud-based service vendors. Okay, so once we deployed our applications, it will be ready for customer usage, right? So so if you want to understand for the global infrastructure, right? So in case if you, for example, if you want to construct, if you want to leave some place, right? So what we will do, we will construct house. Similarly, once the house is constructed, we will go and live inside the house. Similar way, in case if you want to build an application, or in case if you want to build and deploy our application in order to live that application into production. So similar way, we need to build for the infrastructure. Okay, so that is for in a cloud providers, right? So what we will do earlier, we have to procure everything from our own and set up all the procurement in our own data center. We set up all those things in our local data center. On top of that, we will deploy our application for customer use. Now we are going to use for AWS infrastructure or for the cloud service providers in order to deploy our applications for the customer use. It's very simple way. Okay. So now AWS region, right? Okay. So how this infrastructure gets built, right? There are uh, many reasons, right? So why we are going for AWS region, why we need availability zones, why we need edge locations. So these are the things, right? So each and every features or each and every concept will be behind for some reason. So in case, let me tell you for a few points. Okay. So in case if you are going to deploy your applications, right? So your application should always up and running, so your application should be scalable, and your application should be zero downtime, and your application should be serve your application in a low latency. And okay, these are the some of the benefits. That's why this concept will come into picture. So in case if you want to understand more about that, okay, so these are the basic understanding. So to make sure that to get into this uh, concepts. So if this is the basic, or maybe this is the fundamental concept, or maybe to understand more about that. In case if you want to learn more about that, we can go ahead and understand, or maybe learn from the official documentation, each and every concept or each and every topics. Okay. Now region is a geographic location where AWS has multiple data centers, availability zones. Each region is isolated with independent to ensure fault tolerance. Okay, so that's what we have discussed, right? So in a global, right, we have multiple regions. Okay, so for example, your applications is a global or widely used applications, right? Is not only for you when you build an application, this application cannot be used for specific users. Okay, so once you deployed your application, has been used by globally. Okay, so in order to use your application globally, you need an infrastructure to run your application should be in a low latency, high scalable, and for serve your application on time and with a zero downtime. So these are some of the concept which will be used. So for that reason, AWS, or not only for AWS, for any cloud service providers can provide it for their services in order to serve your application in a low latency with high availability and for the high scalability with the zero downtime. Okay, so minimal downtime. Okay, so this is the basic concept. So when we talk about region, right, there are, as we told, so our application gets deployed into multiple region. It depends on the company nature. Like, so for example, if I'm working for one company, my company audience or maybe for the user with specific region, maybe for Asia Pacific, we have multiple user or maybe more users. If you talk about Europe region, with less users. If you talk about US, maybe with less user. If you talk about Africa, we have more users, something like that. So in case if you want to deploy your applications based on that customer traffic, or maybe the uh, based on the access from the user side, right? So you can select accordingly for the region. So in order to deploy your or maybe host your applications, that's what region. So right now there are multiple regions AWS which is providing. So each regions having, as I told you, right, each region having isolated and independent ensure fault tolerance, which means there are different data sensors which is already built and which will be available for the user can, or maybe for the company organization can use it. So now we will okay, now we will go on to verify from understand about regions. We'll get into this AWS management console. Yeah. So if you see here, right? Uh, AWS regions, right? Okay, so see here, that's what I showed. Okay, see here. So if you go and click on this right corner, right? So these are the regions. Okay, so if you see here, right, you can easily understand. These are the regions which currently provided by AWS. And if you want to understand more about AWS regions, yeah, and available. Okay, so if you see here, if you go there, and you can see that is one of the one way you can see that uh, these are the regions. North Virginia United States region. We have this is the region code. Similar way, you can see here. You can see okay regions, right? Example, Asia Pacific. You can see here there is a blue dot, and if you want to see here in India, we have Hyderabad and Mumbai. Okay, so this is how we need to understand about how region is how what are the regions AWS is provided for our data center facility in order to host our application. So this is how you can see that in a AWS console. You can go ahead and verify here also. Okay, so this is the region to understand in a nutshell. And the next thing is that okay, so we will discuss about availability zones, right? So what is availability zone? Availability zone. An availability zone is one or more data centers in a region, okay, or physically are separated, connected via high speed networking. Okay, so okay, now in a region, we have that's what AWS is trying to say, is telling, right? So in a region, in a particular region, we have multiple data center. Why? Because if some region in a particular region, some availabilities goes down. Okay, so for example, you have hosted an applications. Okay, in case only one availability zone is there in that particular region, what will happen when the availability zone is goes down? For example, some region, some earthquake, or maybe for some disaster, or many reasons, right? Or fire, or maybe some kind of reasons. So in case the data center goes down, or some of the means all networks or everything is goes down, how your application won't work? Because of that, the all machines are shut down, and no networks and no availability for that region, or when that particular region availability. So that's why your application won't work. For that reason, in order to avoid this kind of issue, okay, to provide your application highly available, okay, so fault tolerant, that's why AWS providing this kind of feature. Okay, so in a region, we have multiple data centers, each data center having separate, uh, okay, each data center having separated but connected with high speed networking, right? So one availability zone is goes down. Okay, so all the requests will go to another availability zone in order to serve your customers. I hope you understand. Okay. So this is how the availability zone. Okay. Now we will go and see that where is availability zone, right? Okay. I just want to see in a region. For example, I want to see Asia Pacific, Mumbai region, how many availability zones available. Okay. So that's if you want to see, go here. Here also you can see. Here also you can see it. This is for region and availability zone, right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. See here, this is the region availability zone. See here. There are Asia Pacific Singapore, we have three availability. And if you told right, just if you see here, mm, Asia Pacific, Asia Pacific, okay, Malaysia, this is for Hong Kong, this is Mumbai. Okay, see here, Asia Pacific, Mumbai region, we have three availability zone. Let's go on to explore these things. Okay, so if you want to see this, let me go to EC2 instance. Here, if you want to see that, right? I just want to show you. So where it is available. Okay, so just I'm just going to we can see it from the placement group as well as for the EC2 instance. Let me let me show you here. Okay, so I just want to see. Let's search with availability zone. Okay, can you able to see here availability zone, right? Right now it's in a free tier account. We have no preference. Default subnet in any availability zone, which means so the availability zone can be enabled by default whatever the availability zone which is available. In case if you want to see, I want to see how many availability zone in that particular region, right? So you can click it here, click edit, and you see. Okay, see here. Can you able to see here? Okay, so see here, this is the availability zone. Availability zone AP South 1C, AP South 1A, AP South 1B. Okay, so that is how you have mentioned here availability zone for Mumbai region D. Similarly, I am right now I am in Mumbai. See here, you can able to see here. I am into Mumbai, Asia Pacific, Mumbai. Uh, we are going to see there are three availability zones. See here, AP South 1C, 1A, 1B. So that is how we are going to. I just want to show you how where it is available and how do you see that, okay, in a practical way. That's what just want to explain this. So maybe you can also go and explore the things when you are going to create anything like any machine. If you want to launch it and where you want to launch it, which region, under which region, which availability zone you have to launch it. Okay, so this region, as per AWS, was what they're saying, that this availability zone has been inter means having highly connected network. In case of any network or in case of any availabilities goes down, so your customer or maybe your client request will be handled by another availability zone, so that your application will be highly available, fault tolerant, and it should be available for always. Okay, so that is how the main objective. Hope you are understand now the full picture. So why it is coming, what reason, and how it is works. Okay. So this is the availability zone. Okay, understanding. Now we are going to discuss about edge locations. Okay. So edge location is similar kind of uh, availability zone. It's not like exactly availability zone. Edge, for example, edge location also having the data centers, distinct data centers, which they are going to provide for the customer request, right? Or serving the customer request. So basically, it's not like that availability realm. So for example, in availability zone, we are going to deploy our applications and they're going to serve for managing load balancing, compute, storage, everything. So use your main application. For edge location, what it will happen? It will handle for the uh, a kind of static information, right? In case if you want to serve your means kind of caching. Okay, in case if you want to serve your videos for nearby local means the customer want to serve your request in a nearby places in order to achieve low latency, you can say. If you want to achieve low latency, that is why edge location come into picture, because these are the edge location will take care where the user is comes from. So it will cache those information, whatever the information which is available. The next request comes from that particular area or for the particular region. So immediately edge location will serve the request in order to satisfy or in order to achieve the client request. Okay, so this is how in a nutshell. Okay, so you can understand in order to achieve the low latency, the main intention of this edge location in order to achieve the low latency. So in case your application is running in US data center and the customer is requesting from Mumbai. So if you want to get some data from that, this is for static information, it's not like for the dynamic information. So the static information will be always same, or maybe it is not changed. It's not changed as like dynamic way. So it's kind of static information. So in case the user want to access the static information or in a way, right? So from Mumbai location to US location, the traffic has to pass through and has to get through from the Mumbai location, I mean from the US location, right? It will take some time to get those data, whatever the client is requesting. So in order to avoid this kind of latency, right, highly means you have to wait for some kind of uh, some kind of timeline, right? So to avoid this kind of timeline, so that's why AWS provided this kind of feature so that if I request from this Mumbai location, so the content which already somebody we have requested or maybe already is used at, right? This information will be already cached into the nearby locations. Okay, with your nearby locations, which is edge locations. So in case the user is access or maybe request for the same information again, those data will be fetched from that edge location and will be served into the client. Okay, I hope this is clear. So this is how the system will work for the edge locations. So now if you it's not like for example, some of the services will be mainly used for this. One of the main services for CloudFront, okay, is for the content delivery network. CloudFront is mostly used for content delivery network, and apart from that, few services will be using, but we will go through that whenever if you want to discuss all those things, right? So that's what. So if we now we are going to use that for just we are going to show where these edge locations will be available, right, in a AWS management console. Just want to go here, okay, just to type, go to services, services, as cloud front, okay, cloud front. You see, cloud front is the Amazon Cloud securely deliver content with low latency and higher transfer speed. So that's what we have discussed. Now you can able to see, right? So mainly achieve for the load latency. That's what we have discussed. Okay, so when we click this CloudFront distribution, right? Now you can see mm, what you want to see here. Uh, search with is edge locations. You see here, use all edge location, best performed. Okay, by default it is selecting, which means that so apart from only North America and Europe, apart from North America, Europe, Asia, Middle East, Africa, okay, these are three options which is provided edge locations. By default, it is selecting for use all edge locations, which means that by default, system will perform your based on your customer needs or maybe customer request, and it will be cached or maybe provide the details from the nearest location. That's what we discussed, right? So here you see, this is the things. Okay, so edge locations. So where is we want to see? Okay. So info. Let me go and click that info. Okay. So if you want to see, right, as I told you, if you click here, you can understand uh, cloud front edge locations. If you want to see, yeah, it will go here and you see. So these are the edge locations which is available. Just want to see list view. Yeah, you see here. These are the network edge locations, right? See edge locations. If you see here, see these are the edge locations. So this what we have discussed, right? We have edge location in Bangkok, Thailand, Beijing, China, Bangalore, India, Chennai, India, Delhi, India. So these are the edge locations which AWS is having it. So whenever you user want to try to access any content from that network or from that applications, so AWS will be already cached those information or cached those details which will be available for this location, edge location, nearby locations in the locations. So if customer want to access those information, for example, customer is accessing from Chennai, so this will the edge location will be served, data will be served from the nearest edge location is Chennai. In case of Bangalore, in case from the Bangalore. In case of Pune, is Pune also is available. Yeah, and yes, it is available. In case of China, Beijing will be there. Beijing, right? So similarly, in case of Hong Kong also it will be there. In case of Indonesia, Jakarta. Okay. So in case of Malaysia, yes, Malaysia we will Kuala Lumpur. This is kind of nearby locations where the content is already cached and has been served according to the user request. Well, this is the thing. So I hope understand now what is global infrastructure built from that AWS side, and why this infrastructure is required. And now what are the three concepts which we have discussed? Okay, one is for region, and another one is for availability zone, and other one is for edge locations. So why these features available, and what is the purpose and why we are using for those features. Okay, so this is the things which we are going to pretty much understand now. So now we are going for the next things, right? Mostly we have addressed all those things. Okay, so this is how the things has been global AWS global infrastructure which built on. So each features having different purposes. I hope now I have explained all those things in a very detailed way to understand more about that and what purpose, why we are using for it. Okay, so now once everything is done, yes, we have global infrastructure. In a global infrastructure, we have regions, availability zone, and for edge locations. Now, so where we have discussed about data centers, right? So in these places, what is available from that AWS perspective, right? So AWS have their own data center which is set up for each and every data center, each and every region with respect to the availability zones, right? Availability zone as well for the edge location. So in order to build your data center, you need some of the things has to be select, or maybe in order to follow those things in the earlier days, right? So with our earlier days, even though now also, if we talk about only for that startups and mid-level company always going for this kind of cloud service providers. In if we talk about for MNCs or maybe big enterprise applications, right? For example, banking, insurance, finance, all those kind of uh, applications are right. Still, they're setting their own data center. Once data center is set up, on top of that, they will deploy their application in order to serve their customer needs. Okay, so that is how the applications or data center will build and has been provided or be served as part of this user request. So now I'll walk you through, or maybe I'll briefly discuss about what is data center, what are the things available in data center, and why we are using for that. How this data center serves for the user request, how this looks like. maybe the persons who was not aware for that, okay, so they'll be talking about, maybe they'll understand what is data center, what are the things available. Maybe we'll discuss in a brief way so that you can understand more about that. Okay, so basically, if you want to set up an infrastructure, if you want to set up a data center for your application deployment, or you in order to host your application, right? So basically, they will select some of the site location where you want to set up your data center, and you have to set up some core infrastructure, right? So for example, core infrastructure like uh, how this uh, infrastructure should look like. We have should not be any kind of earthquake related things, or maybe any kind of fire station, or maybe fire related accident should not be done, or any kind of major incident should not happen when we are going to see. Why? Because we are verifying all those things. So once you set up your infrastructure, right, in case of anything happened in between, something like that, what we have discussed, right? So everything will be collapsed, and also a huge loss for the company. Okay, the setup, the data center setup company. Oh, that is why this kind of basic setup should be there in order to understand all those things. So once everything is settled, now okay, finalize the place and finalize the setup, all those things, core infrastructure. So now we are going to set up for the IT infrastructure setup. Now IT infrastructure setup in the sense, so what is IT infrastructure setup? So in that particular place and the particular building or in the particular area, so we have already one a place, one our data center area, which already in a secured way we have set up it. Now we are going to purchase for the we are going to purchase respective IT related, or maybe IT info related stuffs in order to install our or assemble our servers. Okay, so if you want to set up our IT infrastructure, right, we need a servers. Okay, then we have networking equipment, we have storage system, and we have all respective cooling infrastructure, everything should be there. So main thing is that we are going to purchase servers. So servers has to be there. Server is main thing because we are going to server is going to perform our all our workloads. Okay, so server should be there. It's a rack. It's kind of rack server. So this is for the highly computed, highly work, or maybe highly powered computers, right? So in order to manage or process your workloads. Okay, so each applications or each servers has to be interconnected with respective networks. So the networks equipment which you see, um, all firewall and for gateway, everything it includes, right? So uh, it has to be network and has to be tied up with each and every service, and each service having storage system has to be defined. So in order to store our data, backup and restore, if you want to access our data or storage purpose, we have to using that storage. So these are the things which will be there. So once everything is ready, everything is set up. On top of that, now servers. So you can ask about servers, right? Once we have set up all those things, whatever the points which you have discussed, now server is ready. Once server is ready, we are going to maybe it may be a physical server or it may be a virtual server, right? So once server is ready, on top of that, we will install the necessary softwares, and on top of that, that means OS. On top of that, uh, necessary application configuration. On top of that, deploy your application. Once application is deployed, then you are going to serve your client needs. So this is how the application will be deployed in our database, in our production infrastructure, and how this serving, or maybe the application, once application is gets deployed, how this application will be running for the serving for the client request. So that's what I just want to clarify all those things. Maybe, right now, maybe I hope I would have given for a very good understanding about how these things works till that application deployment. So hope you can found this video as a uh, very well helpful, and you can also share this video into your friend circle so that they can also benefit. And need your help and support. Like and subscribe my channel so that I can give me for more boost, so that I can prepare or maybe create this kind of videos in order to learn and we can grow it. Okay, so now fine. So hope you are understand all those things. We will talk about, or maybe we can come up with a different video. Thank you very much. All the very best. See you in the next video.